Found it! Of Mountains and Seas, a guide for adventurers written by Leonard. But the words have faded, and there are even pages missing. Paimon's got no hope of reading this. Darn. Maybe we're just wasting our time on this one. Oh, right! Yeah, Mona! She might have a better idea. Look what we found! Leonard wrote a book!
Ooh, let me see. I could have predicted as much. Your average astrologist would definitely give up at this point. But I am Mona, progenitor of the future of astrology. Nothing can stand in my way. I simply need to deduce the missing portions with my astrolabe, write them in, and then decipher the text. Finished at last.
So what does it say?
Just as I thought. Leonard was an adventurer who lived 2,000 years ago. His lifelong dream was to reach the summit of a mountain called Pylos Peak.
2,000 years? So the constellation that caused the meteorites is from 2,000 years ago?
Somehow, for some reason, this constellation was summoned down from the sky. I suspect that the Fatui have something to do with that part.
Paimon thinks so too. Whenever something shady happens, you can bet the Fatui are involved.
The meteorites harbor elemental energy, which radiates out and lulls people to sleep by some means akin to hypnosis. And if I'm guessing correctly, there should be some sort of core meteorite among the bunch, within which is a crystal that harbors Leonard's spirit. Well, if I were Leonard, I would want to make sure the core lands right on the snowy summit that I never made it to while I was alive.
So, the core should be at the top of Pylos Peak? Where is that? Paimon's never heard of it before.
It's the first I'd heard of it too, so I compared the map from the book against the current topography of Mondstadt. Apparently, Pylos Peak no longer exists.
Are you trying to say that the tallest mountain Paimon's never heard of just disappeared?
I once read somewhere that the Animo Archon, Barbados, once used his divine power to mobilize the winds and blow the ice and snow from the face of the earth. The whole landscape of Mondstadt was changed in the process. The mountains of that age were replaced by the vast stretch of ocean we see today. Still, a mountain that high, drop it into the ocean and it'll still leave a trace. The summit still reaches just above the water's surface, so the place known as Pylos Peak in Leonard's day is today known as Musk Reef. Oh, so this is Pylos Peak. Not much to show for itself now, eh?
Looks like someone beat us here. Is this like a popular tourist spot, or... Ah, it's you!
Huh? You again.
Look at the state he's in. Was he in that dream just now?
He managed to extricate himself from the dream on his own strength? How is that possible?
Just because you are powerless to do something does not mean that I am. You're too late anyway. I finished my research.
We knew it! This was all a dirty trick by the Fatui!
Save it! No more fun and games for me today. I'll come for you when I'm good and ready.
You entered the dream they've all been having, didn't you? How much do you know about Leonard?
Leonard? Who's Leonard? Whatever. I have bigger fish to fry. I've discovered something far more important and far more terrifying.
What?
The stars, the sky, it's all a gigantic hoax. A lie.
The stars are a lie. What are you talking about?
Is this some kind of astrological debate between you and Mona? Because if so, surely you can come up with a better argument than the stars are a lie. Seriously, who's gonna fall for that one when you can just lift your head up at night and see them up there twinkling away?
Oh, you are so naive, it kills me. Still, can't really blame you. After all, I used to believe the same thing myself. Up until a few moments ago, that is.
A few moments ago? You mean...
Look, I really don't have the time to do this right now. What was the jester thinking? He must have had some inkling of what we might discover on this mission. Would it really have been so difficult to give me a little forewarning? Well, maybe he just wanted to give me a fright. Time for me to go out and find the truth. So long, suckers.
Oh, can you believe that guy? He calls us suckers and then he just trots off. No one disrespects me. No one. Ugh. Time to show them what you get when you cross world-class genius with pure, unadulterated rage.
Wow, you fought so fiercely.
Told you. That's what happens when you disrespect me. You bet I am. Paimon, you agree too, right? Did I show those Fatui who's boss or what?
Sure did. Without you here, those guys would have caused us a whole lot more trouble.
See? How do you like that, Harbinger? Scumbag. He seemed genuinely shaken, though. I don't think he was lying. I was always taught to talk about the false sky during astrological readings. Could there be more to such phrases than I have been led to believe? I digress. Come on, let's finish the job we came to do.
Whoa, this must be the core. It looks totally different from all the other meteorites. It's way more shiny.
This stone harbors an unbelievable amount of elemental energy and human desire. It's the core, all right? Yes. Otherwise, the victims will never wake up. This core is the root cause of everything that has happened.
Do it!
With ropes, we can scale mountains. With boats, we can sail the seas. By age 40, I had conquered every last domain. Pylos Peak alone defeated me. As an adventurer, and well, maybe in other ways too. Now, I am approaching the end of my life. Many times I have sat and stared up at that peak as the boundless snow slowly engulfed me. It is a beast without weakness, the merciless face of the world. It fills me with fear. And when an adventurer loses courage, they can no longer climb mountains. My mountaineering days may be over, but I have a greater ambition now. Humans create tools to conquer nature, and when nature conquers them in return, they create better tools. Where our legs cannot take us, maybe our tools can. And when tools fail us, perhaps wings can carry us instead. My dear friend, I leave you my designs for the wings of incompletion. Against the unknown, humanity stands as one. To be alive is to seek, to set foot in every place that the eye can see. I have little time remaining, though the wind has not yet come for my soul. But between us and your children, students, and friends, I believe that someone will reach that place at last.
Wow. Well, that was unexpected. Who would have thought that human will can survive in the skies for millennia on end? Astrology really is an incredible thing.
What makes you say that?
The ability to communicate with the stars can give you access to all the secrets from throughout human history. Though, of course, very few astrologists ever reach that level. What's with the formal tone all of a sudden? And speaking of formal tone, what is the deal with that girl, Fischl? She's a curious one.
Paimon thinks so too. She's so... how to put this? Yeah. Although, if you think about it, seems she was right all along. Is she one of these people who uses the wrong method but still gets the right answer?
You may well be right.
Even so, Paimon thinks that the most surprising thing of all was how Pylos Peak turned into a teeny tiny little island.
A mountain of yesteryear now sits as an island in the sea. Almost anyone from Mondstadt could reach it now, just by jumping in a boat.
In other words, everyone can climb Pylos Peak now. Do you think Leonard would be happy about it? The situation with Pylos Peak might be a bit of a shock. But now, with the help of the Animal Archon, the people of Mondstadt are able to glide. With wings, people can travel further and higher than ever before and explore new and unknown places. The victims should finally start waking up now that we've dealt with the core. And we have finally finished our commission from the Adventurers Guild.
About those books in the restricted section that Lisa mentioned. Have you ever wondered what sort of books might be kept in there? Perhaps it contains books not suitable for children.
Huh? But the Boar Princess isn't in the restricted section. What could be more unsuitable for children than that? Paimon's curious.
This is Barbara, the deaconess of the church. She is here to retrieve the holy lyre de Hamel.
May the Animal Archon protect you. I'm not really in a position to speak compared to our acting Grand Master, but I still want to thank you all on behalf of all of Mondstadt for your assistance. Fortunately, everything was resolved peacefully, I can't imagine how an all-out war between the military and the dragon would have ended.
Now the Fatui have no choice but to keep their mouths shut. They must be annoyed that things didn't turn out as planned for them. This time, they even lost their best excuse to pressure the Knights of Favonius. Diplomatically speaking, they gained nothing, and on the contrary, simply proved just how vexatious they can be.
Sounds like quite the story. So, did you bring the Holy Lyre with you? We cannot ask you to keep defending the lyre forever. The Seneschal has been pressing me for a while now.
We did bring it with us. It's a little...
Oh, don't worry. I'm not here to collect rent. The church has always received special funding. The Holy Lyre! Lord Barbados! Even if I atone for these sins for the rest of my life, it would still not be enough!
Oh, give it here.
How could this Holy Lyre, but how?
Huh? Let Paimon see!
No. I don't know how you managed to fix it, but you'll never touch the lyre again!
We, really should get going. That trick I used to repair the Holy Lyre. I mean, the magic I used isn't going to hold forever, you know.
What? You tone-deaf bard! Hey, don't go!
At last, Mondstadt's rodent ruler in the flesh. Scurrying through the streets looking for leftovers? Mondstadt calls this a god?
Resident rodent beats invasive vermin.
Don't you dare speak back to me, insolent bard. Absentee Archon of Mondstadt. How impotent you've become.
That smirky wear looks out of place. Did you steal it from your master's face?
Should have held your tongue. So, this is a Gnosis. Wouldn't be caught dead wearing this ugly thing in public.
Beauty is a waste when the beholder has no taste.
Venti!
Well, we have what we came here for. Come, before our dear Favonian friends arrive. Leave nothing for them to find.
Honorary Knight, you're awake! I wouldn't say he's alright, exactly. I found you lying unconscious outside the cathedral and used my elemental powers to heal you. That bard awakened first, but strangely, my healing powers had almost no effect on him. This is the first time I've encountered such a patient, but he just said, "It's completely normal," and then got up and left the cathedral.
He left? Already? Where'd he go?
The symbol of Mondstadt's hero. That's what he said. I wanted to stop him, but Jean, I mean, Master Jean, said to let him leave. How strange.
Paimon remembers Venti healing under that tree before. It's probably due to the connection between Windrise and the Animal Archon. Master Jean has figured it out as well, but we can't tell Barbara.
The Fatui were the ones who attacked you? That's too much. Master Jean has already returned to the Knight's headquarters. She said that she will look for evidence. But she also said that if the Fatui didn't leave any traces, the Knights might find it difficult to lodge a complaint against them.
The wind amongst the branches is good. I love the way it smells. I said the exact same thing last time. Why do I only say these things when I'm down on my luck? So you noticed. This isn't something I'm meant to discuss with ordinary people, but I suppose I can let you in on the secret. As you know, visions are external magical foci that only a small minority of people possess. They use these visions to channel elemental power. In truth, every wielder of a vision is one who can attain godhood and ascend to Celestia. We call such people allogenes.
Allogenes? Paimon's never heard of them before.
That's because this is a secret that only Archons are privy to. We don't need primitive tools like visions. Instead, each Archon has an internal magical focus that resonates directly with Celestia itself, known as a Gnosis. It's just a glowing glass ball I carry around to avoid suspicion.
So who was that nasty woman who sent Paimon flying and stole your Gnosis?
Her name is Signora, number 8 of the Harbingers. She and the rest of the Harbingers have been given godlike executive authority by the Tsaritsa of Snezhnaya, and with it, strength surpassing that of other mortals.
The Tsaritsa of Snezhnaya? Isn't that...
Indeed. She is one of the 7, the Tsaritsa who reigns from her winter palace, and the one person that the Fatui Harbingers all answer to. The 7 don't always get along well, but still. I never thought that she would plot to steal another Archon's Gnosis. How should I put this? 500 years ago, I knew her well, but I can't say the same is true now. You see, a certain catastrophe happened 500 years ago, and after that, she cut off all ties with me. But we can save discussion of the Cryo Archon and the Fatui for another day. If you seek the rest of the 7, many difficulties lie ahead of you still. You should head for Mondstadt's neighboring nation of Liyue. The Geo-Archon who reigns there, unlike me, administrates his entire region personally. He only descends once every year to give his divine predictions, which set the direction for Liyue for the rest of that year.
Even so, it sounds like he works much harder than a certain someone,
In any case, this year's Rite of Descension is soon to begin. If you miss it, you'll just have to wait another year.
What? Oh, why didn't you tell us before? Well, then bye! We're going!
One moment, Windborn Outlander. Just use it gratefully. Or, better yet, treat me to a glass of Dandelion wine. Traveler, as you set off on your journey once again, you must remember that the journey itself has meaning. The birds of Tevat, the songs in the cities, the Tsaritsa, her Fatui and the monsters, they are all part of your journey. The destination is not everything, so before you reach the end, keep your eyes open. Use the chance to take in the world around you. Great. So, So, that's that for the Animo Archon's admonishments. Back to Venti time. If you want to chat, now's the time. A bard stays not always in a single climb. Up till the end, Dvalin remembered his duty as one of the Four Winds. As such, I don't intend to forcibly strip him of that duty and force my ideals of freedom onto him. I just hope that Dvalin will be able to choose for himself and understand what freedom is. Before I became an Archon, I too was taught the meaning of freedom in this way by a friend. Kaya shared some new intelligence, you say? Oh, I see. So, the Abyss Order has a princess who orchestrated the plan to corrupt Dvalin? They were probably trying to turn Dvalin into a weapon of war for the Abyss. But that said, I have never heard of any such princess of the Abyss Order. I think so too. Apparently. But how does a prince come out of nowhere and take command over the entire Abyss Order?
That Fatui lady didn't hang around, did she? She just grabbed your Gnosis and left?
She wanted to avoid any eyewitnesses from the Knights of Favonius. The slightest slip-up here would have destroyed the Fatui's diplomatic relations with the Knights.
So they're just gonna keep acting like Mondstadt's allies as if nothing happened?
If only the Seven Nations had banded together against the Abyss Order in the first place. The Fatui possess the strongest military among the Seven Nations, yet they've used it to steal the Holy Lyre, covet the power of gods, and use Dvalin as a bargaining chip against the Knights.
Speaking of the lyre, didn't Diluc say something like this before? He said that the Fatui could only run amok across the Seven Nations and threaten the Knights because of the Harbingers. Yes.
As I said earlier, the Cryo-Archon has given them authority and strength beyond that of other mortals. The Tsaritsa... I haven't seen her in 500 years. What is she thinking? What's her plan? Whatever the answer is, I have a feeling it's only going to make your search for the Seven all the more difficult. As I said before, vision wielders are known as allogenes and may ascend to Celestia. A Gnosis is a higher-order nexus of elemental manipulation and is emblematic of an Archon's status as one of the Seven. But as for which of the Seven took your sister, I'm sorry, I don't know. Wait. As one of the Seven, I'm not clear of suspicion yet either, am I?
Hang on a hot second. Tone Deaf Bard is just one of Barbados' many incarnations. Who's to say that...
We're a great team indeed. Say, once you find your sister, how would you like to become one of the new Four Winds?
You don't seem too into it. Hey, Tone Deaf Bard! If being one of the Four Winds means free food, you can consider Paimon.
Well then, best be off to Liyue. If the dissension ritual you failed to tally, then another year you must dally.